Hi, everybody. This is going to be an exciting day. Give me a second here. I'm just going to be checking that we are online, we are up and rolling, we are ready to rock and roll, we are ready to have some fun. Okay, let me see here. We are on inside the group. Yay! Okay, let me mark it as announcement so everybody can find us. And everybody who gets on the live, just what's it called? Um, let us know where you let us know where you're tuning in from. I have to wear headphones today. We're trying to get a better sound than last week. Let me see here. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Oh, shut this off. This is the thing when you go live. Let me see if we are. Yes, we are on Instagram. We are live. Hey, everybody. I don't know why I'm so up close on Instagram. Hi, everybody on Instagram. Hope you're doing well. We are having a very exciting day today. We're going to be interviewing Kimberly, hi, Sif from Norway. Good to see you. Sif, anybody who is in Facebook, if you go up into the post, there will be a link called eCam. If you click the link, eCam, it would allow you, for me to see your name. So when the comments come in, I can actually respond to you by name. Also, if you have questions as we go through at the end of this interview, if anybody wants to ask questions to me or Kimberly, you're more than welcome. This is interactive. But for everybody who doesn't know me, I'm Petra Mediza. I'm a quantum leap catalyst, okay? And I focus on wealth and concept of self, and I help people align to their true power, if you could call it that, where they are stepping into their abundance through the science of manifestation and mindset. And your outside world, or you have to know how you perceive your outside world, is a mirror of what is happening inside of you. Okay, life doesn't happen to you, as many people think. Life happens through you for a way for you to expand and shift into a higher level of consciousness. And the universe always seeks to create a balance through expansion and contraction. And as we are part of that principle, it's our innate human design will always seek expansion, and we will always have a craving or a desire for more in life. And contrary to belief, okay, this is not bad, it's not greedy. And this is a big one, when those desires are born through a place of true alignment, okay, this is what we're going to talk about today. And when in an alignment, you will be calling in your manifestations. Manifestation is not a process of trying, okay? And how do you know when you're in alignment? Well, you will start to experience synchronicities, spontaneous manifestations, and you will start collapsing the timeline between you and your desires. And so basically, what many people maybe know, if you're from the law of attraction, is that you will more effortlessly become a vibrational match to your desires. So with that said and done, let's get today's interview started. I'm going to bring on Kimberly. Anybody who's on, please give her a lot of hearts. Say hello, give her a lot of love, and give me a second. How do I get you on here? There we go. There you are. Hey, Kimberly. Say something. Oh, there you are. Okay, I can
Hello.
see you. Okay, I just need to change this up here. There we go. So, let me see. Uh-huh. Oh, just 1 second. Okay, so you can't actually really see us. So I'll have to do it the other way around. Give me a second. I'll put you. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Just figuring it out. Why am I not being able to put this up? There we go. I was going to put myself up there. Here we go, Kimberly. So, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
And thank you for being on. I know you're a busy girl suddenly. but we'll get into that. Okay, so let's get started. So I have a free community which is called Abundance and Alignment, and this is inside Abundance and Alignment. There is a free access to what we call the Quantum Leap codes, which everybody who works with me goes through that boot camp, and it's something that we continuously have been using the same quantum leap codes for years. And let me just pull this down a little bit. And they're super powerful. It helps you bring you into alignment. It helps calm down your nervous system, and it's tools that anybody who's in my free container to my paid container, everybody has to go through or work through those codes, right? And so abundance and alignment, Kimberly, when did you come into the container? How did you
I
find the
think
container?
it came up in my Facebook feed, and I think I joined in beta 2, but I wasn't able to get in there for some reason. But I followed up of everything that was posted. I didn't give up. And then I finally got back in. It was really weird how it worked out, but I've been since beta 2.
You've been since beta 2, okay. And so when did you start experience? So why have you what is your background? Have you had anything to do with manifestation before? Because the beta was something that when the group opened, I opened it as a beta, and I mean people are still applying to get in. So you must have seen an ad or something like that, right, Kimberly, for it? Yeah, okay. And so what attracted you to it? Because in the ad, I talk about manifestation, and were you familiar with it? What was your...
When I was younger, I didn't realize what it was. And now I do knowing, but a lot of things happened pretty quickly. And then for some reason, I got through the wayside, and I had heart surgery a while ago. And then I think that's right around the time you started showing up in my feed. I'm like, oh, I get it now. So that's when I had joined. But I did it when I was younger and was pretty successful, but didn't understand until after the heart surgery. And then it was like, this is a gift. We need to just go. So pretty persistent, and I've been here since.
You've been, yes. Okay, so this is really interesting that you're saying that, because so a lot of people have sometimes, a lot of people in the community who have, what if you can say, dabbled in it, read about it. It's most often they come from The Secret, right?
Yeah.
They read that book, but a lot of us, I mean, we all manifest. This is what people have to understand. We manifest all the time. So if people say, oh, I'm going to teach you how to manifest, that's bullshit, right? Because we're doing it, we might just do it unconsciously. So I always considered myself a super lucky person, not knowing
Right.
that I was actually using the tools, right? Of course, I've had a lot of hardships in my life and stuff like that, but I've always, in my back of my mind since I was little, thought I was very lucky. And a lot of members in the community, or it's divided, but when we talk to them, you know, they have been using the tools that we are using in here, but unconsciously. And so when you come into the community and we start talking about what we're actually doing and getting kind of a little bit of a system behind it, people go like, oh my God, I've been doing this. But
Yes.
I wasn't aware, you know, I wasn't conscious about it. So that's why we're
Right.
calling it conscious manifestation. And that's what we work on inside the community. So if we are manifesting, let's manifest what we want. Let's live in a consciousness that feels good, and then move in that trajectory, right? So anyway, so you when did so you were in the beta, you started doing the I mean, we were doing a lot of different tools because I was testing stuff up on the group. At that point, I think we grew from 300 to 1,300 very quickly. Did you start feeling better? What made you want to continue doing the journey? Because I kind of feel that you really kind of stepped up your game since the inner circle, or what?
Yeah.
Okay.
The inner circle, I lost everything just before joining the inner circle.
So 1 second, Kimberly, before you say that, so you
Mhm.
were in the beta 2,
Within
because
the beta 2.
that must have been what, around April or something like that,
Yeah.
maybe March, April
Yeah.
of 2020,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so
And the
you,
only thing, oops, sorry, go ahead.
no. So, but you were having issues getting into the membership site or what,
Yeah.
and getting into the tools and all of. Was that
And
you who were fighting? Like we couldn't get in?
I couldn't get it. The only thing I could get, it was so weird because, I mean, I was stalking, to be honest. The only way. Magic Morning, I just followed everything for the magic. I didn't know what it was, how it worked. I just knew it worked. It made me feel better and stuff started happening. Had no clue because I couldn't get in there. But I did watch the videos that were free and it just took off from there. And then I went in the inner circle, I think the year later. I think it was a year later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So originally, the it's now what, the Magic Morning is part of the Quantum Leap
Yeah.
code bootcamp
Yeah.
that people are getting for free. Originally, that was, I was building it into a paid container, but
Yeah.
because the pandemic hit and everybody was, there was a lot of conscious, a collective nervousness, and people were scared, and the
Right.
tools were working so well that I then decided to keep it as a free container, because like Kimberly is saying, people start feeling better and things start happening, right? So I'm just going to explain this to people, Kimberly, so they understand what we're talking about. Alignment and being a vibrational match to your manifestations are not the same thing. So people they confuse those two terms. Okay, being in alignment is, as I said in the intro, is where you start feeling better. You are connected to your higher self, to whatever your belief system is, the universe, God, whatever it is. It doesn't interfere with any kind of religion or anything. And then synchronicity starts happening, where you think about somebody you haven't talked to in a long time, they suddenly call you. Everything just seems to flow better when you're in alignment. And then you also have these spontaneous manifestations happen. And then there's this well-being behind it. So you will start manifesting, but it's not like where being a vibrational match is where you start deliberately working on, let's say you want a certain person, you want more money or consistent amount of income every month or whatever, better health, whatever that is where you really like focus in. But when we work on alignment, what happens, and the concept of self is the foundation. And if you don't have that foundation in order, a lot of people can manifest, but they can't hold on to it. They get it and then they lose it many times. That's a very, what can you say, quick way of seeing if you're in alignment or not. So a lot of us can manifest even those big manifestations, but then we lose them, or there's not consistency in them. This is when you start to need to work on your alignment and your concept of self, which is really what our community is about. So with that said, sorry, Kimberly, I just
No,
like
you're
to
fine. No,
explain
you're
what we're
fine.
talking about, because a lot of people get a little bit confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so so then you what this did you get into the inner circle when we just opened the doors, or what?
No, I waited a little bit, maybe 6 months, and I had to wait for the inner circle to open up again to get into it.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
okay.
a long time. Yeah,
Yeah, because we
it was worth
opened
it.
up and then we closed it down. So
Yep.
that's how we
Yep.
normally do. We open up doors and then
Yep.
we get everybody situated, and then we might start it up again. And
Yep.
so this is another interesting thing you say. So when you start using the Quantum Leap code bootcamp, right, the Magic Morning,
Yep.
you were starting to feel better, everything was starting to work out, and then suddenly you lose everything.
Yeah,
What
I lost it all.
and
Lost it all. Lost my job. I mean, I literally slept on my mother's couch
yeah,
for a very long time. Yep.
and you have
Yep.
kids as well, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a good time, but I believed 100% that what I was doing was working, and it just would work out. And I don't know if you could say that, went balls to the walls and did magic morning 3 times a day. And within 6 months, my life just turned right upside down. It was amazing what had happened.
Yeah.
And I still do magic morning 3 times a day. It makes me feel good. I mean, I don't need to, but it makes me feel good.
Yeah.
Keeps me totally aligned.
Yes. And so this is the thing, is like, this is about learning what feels good for you. This is a personal journey. There's not one size fits all. We are all very, very different. And
Mhm.
so you don't need to do, like Kimberly saying, the magic mornings 3 times a day. There's a lot of things that you don't need to do, but if it makes you feel good,
Yeah.
then you continue doing what makes you feel good. And that's going to shift over time, because the more you do this, so manifestation is an embodiment. It's learning to get into your body, and it's having that connection between your higher self and your body. And so uh, so it's a practice. Okay, so you
Yeah.
can have read as many books as you want. So a lot of people are really book smart and they've read every book, but they haven't practiced it. If you haven't
Mm-mm.
practiced it, you're not going to get the effects of what this is. So this is why it's
Not
good to be in
consistent. Yeah.
community. And what
Yeah.
did you find? So the inner circle is a paid membership. It's a
Hmm.
small monthly fee that we have, where people who are really serious about this, they've done the free
Hmm.
container, which they started feeling better. And many times when people start feeling better, they want to really immerse themselves. So we are followers of or what can you say? One of my favorite thought leaders is Neville Goddard. So we follow a lot of his philosophy.
Yeah.
And as we all know, when we are stepping into a new, what you call it, a new habit, when we are creating a new habit,
Mhm.
it's great to immerse yourself in a world where you take out everything that doesn't really serve you, but you have to fill something else into that
Yeah.
space. And it's better you fill it in that space with something that is actually in alignment with what it is that you're doing. So being in a community, which say Inner Circle is another Facebook group. Uh, and then what we do in there is that there's something every day for you to do. We do challenges in there. There's a book club, so which is from my personal library, right? So everything that you learn is in alignment with each other. So you can find a lot of stuff on YouTube. You can find it for free if you don't want to be in any paid containers, and that's fine. It's just more disorganized. And so
Mhm.
sometimes people can get confused and give up, where the inner circle, what do you feel about the inner circle, Kimberly? Like,
It's worth every penny. I can't stress it enough. It doesn't matter the dollar amount, the benefit you get out of it just by the community itself, because it's hard to explain. You can bounce stuff off. You're all going through the same stuff, and it, you need a community if you're gonna really be true and solid in what you want to call in all the time. You just need that. You're not gonna find that in a book,
mm.
in my opinion. You're just not.
And the thing, so I want to touch back on what you were saying, Kimberly. Like you were doing this work and then you lost everything, right? And this is
Yep.
often what happens when we're shifting consciousness. I call it a recalibration. Okay, it's a
Yep.
recalibration of your nervous system, of your energy body, of your physical body. A lot of people actually get sick as well. I'm one of those ones who actually always come down with some kind of weird flu or whatever it is. And it's just a recalibration of your body being able to carry these, what you say, these higher frequencies, okay?
Mhm.
And we all react differently to it. And so what a
Mhm.
lot of time, I call it the holy shit period, because a lot
Yep.
of people go like, I'm trying to manifest, let's say, a person, and then suddenly the person doesn't want to talk to you anymore, or you are
Yep.
trying to manifest more money and you lose everything, right? And you're
Yep.
like, everything was going well, but not well, but at
Yep.
least I had money for my rent and my bills,
Right.
and then now I have nothing. And
Nothing.
then that's when
Yep.
people start panicking. Many
Yep.
times this is when people start giving up, and this is why it's
Yep.
great being in community, Because what happens is that the community that you pick, you co-created that community together. And many times you are calibrating the same things. You are shifting consciousness. Maybe it's different things that you want. The desires are different, but the shifts are happening at the same time. And there's a form of healing as well, because you need to heal some of your traumas sometimes, or at least become of the deeper traumas, the patterns, the limiting belief systems. Not that you have to be exactly aware what they are, but there is an awareness created around your patterns, and that helps you release it. And many times you are all sharing in that same pattern that is happening on a conscious level, a collective level, within the community, but also sometimes in a collective level of what's going on around us. So when you started inside the inner circle, I just like, it's like, so this is another thing. When people decide I'm going to do this and they sign up for something, sometimes or just when the decision is made, sometimes we start, things start shifting before even we start. Like, it's like your higher self knows, okay, you're ready now. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And so when you got into the inner circle, like straight away, stuff started happening. It was, what was the
God.
first thing? Was that your housing or something like that?
Yep. Yep. I think it was maybe 3 months of being in the inner circle, and I found a house, and I think it saved me $15,000 off of the original. So I was shocked when the papers came. I'm like, this number isn't right, because that's what I wasn't told, and it was last minute. 15,000 knocked right off it. It was like, oh my God, this okay. Give me the pen. We're good, you know. So that was right
But
away.
the first,
Yeah.
you posted that you found housing, and at the price that you found it at, you were actually excited because you could have your
Yep.
dogs, right? Or your
Yep.
dog.
Yep.
And it was a good price already. And then they sent you the contract, and that was 15,000 off the contract, and you were like, hey, there's
Yeah.
something wrong here. It's like, let me
Yeah.
just
I
sign
called
them.
them. I'm like, there's a mistake. You've made a mistake. And they're like, oh, no, 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 no. That, I'm like, I'm not going to argue. I'm saving 15 grand. We're good. But it was a shock. It was a good shock, but
Yeah.
it's just really, if you're in alignment, the world is your oyster. I know it's corny, but really it is. It is. Things just happen. Just
Yeah.
happen. Yeah.
And it's like, it's a little bit, I mean, I've seen this so many times, right, in the collective, and we always share each other's wins, because it's very important celebrating when we are expanding, so we don't contract again. We get our system used to holding more. Okay.
Yeah.
And and it's just been so wild with you, because it just started kind of, and this is what happens often, is it kind of becomes exponential, right? It starts going
Mhm.
really, really quickly suddenly. And like I always encourage everybody to do, is share your stories. It's not bragging. Your stories will help somebody else. Your story, like many times when I with your guys' permission, obviously share your testimonials or your little wins or whatever, or big wins, somebody reaches out to me, right, being like, I've been stuck in this place, and it's hard. And especially a lot of people in our community are parents. We are a little bit older than some of the other manifestation communities out there. We mature. So we have families, and you
Yep.
can't just like change job or go, screw it, I'm just gonna start my own business, and I don't have no capital, and I'll figure it out. There is the risk goes up, the stakes go up a little bit, when, or not a little bit, a lot, when we have kids, and especially when you are in our age, where we have certain bills, we have certain things, we have lives, right? And then you can't just, I mean, you can, but it's a shock to the family if you just say,
Right.
okay, now we're going to change everything, mommy's going to do this, and you're coming along for the ride. So what? Okay, so in how did you end up in the signature in I Am Money, the I Am Money Academy?
It was
What
right after,
decision? Why did you decide
it
to?
was it was right after the housing thing, and I missed it the last time it was open, so I had to wait another year to get in. So I was like asking poor Adrian, like, you got to let me know, I'm not missing it this time because I'm on a roll now. I'm getting in it. There's no question about it. So it was right after that, maybe 4 or 5 months after that, it opened again, and I jumped right in.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's again that's the thing with the academy opened up and then
Yep.
it's been closed. It was supposed to be a rolling enrollment, but because I it was the first the first launch, I wanted to just focus on the first 11 students. And so it took me a little bit long. And then after that, I needed a little break. So it took me
Yep.
a little longer to open the doors, but everything is always in divine timing. So when did you, because right, so you decided you were going to sign up for the academy. The academy is my signature program where people work with me 3 months in a group setting where we meet every week. That's kind of the only place to work with me face to face at the moment, and um, and it's pretty interesting, right? Even though you've
Yes.
been through the other one. So in the
Yep.
I Am, it's called I Am Earth Academy. It stands for I Am Money. So we work on wealth, changing our relationship to wealth and concept of self. When did you get so you had those three big manifestations. Talk about them that you posted about.
It was the house. This was all on the inner circle.
Yeah,
It was the house, $70,000 free education, and like not quite $10,000 in cash off and on, just winning stuff
yeah,
within the 3 months before I got into the academy.
into the academy, and then you
Just before that, yep.
just before that. And so you were in the academy and suddenly you got really, really busy. When did you get your
Yes.
job?
I think it was a month, and wasn't even a month. It was the first month in the academy.
Because
It was like
suddenly,
that quick. I'm like just running with it. I'm
yes,
actually looking forward to the hiccups or the wobbles because I know something amazing's on the other side. So I don't look, I mean, I keep myself in alignment and feeling good, but I know when I hit a hiccup, something better than I even thought that I wanted is coming because that's
yes.
just the way it happens. So I look forward to the holy shit moment. I really do because I know the other side's going to be amazing.
So this is the thing. So you got into the academy, you got a job, and
Yeah.
then what was is it 2 weeks ago they gave you a raise? How long time have you been in the job? A month?
Yeah. A little bit over that. Yep.
And then they gave you a raise. You've also
Yep.
been
So I
working
got,
nonstop, which is amazing, right? Were you looking for the job? How did it come about?
it just fell into my lap. Just fell into my lap. I'm like, okay, we'll do that. It's great.
Yes,
It's just
exactly.
it's being in alignment. It's hard to explain until you really feel it and
Mhm.
you see stuff happen, and you don't have to understand it, but stuff will happen, and it will blow your mind. It will literally blow your mind.
And this is the
Yeah.
thing. So the thank you for saying that because a lot of people go to YouTube or they read the books and they go directly into doing techniques. Okay, there's nothing wrong with techniques. I say inside my communities, all techniques work. I don't care which one it is because it's the intention behind the technique. It's your belief in the technique that's going to make it work or not. And um, and so the, the thing though, what happens is that people start out with techniques, then they start manifesting, deliberate manifesting, and that's what the law of attraction communities talk about when they talk about becoming a vibrational match, right? We work more in law of assumption, embodying the future that you want. But if you come from the law of attraction and you heard about being a vibrational match, that is basically what techniques they help you focus in on that specific thing that you want to bring in or call into your life. And then what happens, there's always a dip, there's an ebb and a flow in life. Okay, so manifestation, I know it's very sexy, the term right now, manifestation, but it really is a philosophy and a lifestyle. Okay, it's not a religion, it's not a cult. It's just a simple, it's mindset, and there is a science behind manifestation, and quantum physics, and they're starting to prove a lot of the things. But if you go back in all religions, I don't care what religion you were into, all the way back into the Vedanta and all of that, they talk about manifestation, right? And it's really to do with what your belief system is and how you perceive the world. And so the easiest thing to do, this is what I have learned and experienced working with clients, the easiest thing to do is to work on your alignment first. Once you can affirm, so a lot of people, like, let's say they want to call in more money or a relationship, you can affirm and affirm and affirm, and you can also change your concept of self via just affirming 100%. However, many times you have to affirm through tears, you have to affirm throughout the day, and it drives people crazy, bonkers, right? And this is why many times people give up, because not everybody, like, people are scatter-minded. We have so many distractions. We are trying to, go to work, take care of kids, take care of a house, all of those kind of things. So the best thing you can do is work on your alignment. That's what the Quantum Leap codes inside. I will put up a link for later, where you guys, or there should be a link inside the comment boxes, where you can go in, you can get it for free, you can get started straight away, and it's gonna start changing your structure, your DNA, okay, if you can call it that. It's gonna start calm your nervous system. It's gonna start making you relax more. And once we start relaxing more, and we can have fun with this process, this is the key,
It's a lot
having
of
fun with it, right? And like Kimberly said, you become a little masochistic, because it's like you start looking forward to your wobbles. And wobbles are when life starts looking like there's resistance. You're not getting what you're wanting. Is you're getting the opposite of what you're wanting. Many times this is what freaks people out. You know that now it's actually working when that happens. And it's like, I call it resonance. It's just those energies, that lower vibrational energy that's leaving you. Okay, so when we are master manifest, it doesn't mean that life is golden all the time. We still go through normal emotions. We're not law of attraction, where we're running around believing that life has to be jolly all the time, right?
Yep.
We feel our emotions. We learn how to actually take those emotions, let them run through our system, let them, you acknowledge whatever trauma that is there. And you can do that in different ways with different techniques. And hi, Kitty.
Tried to keep her away. She's like, no, it's not
No,
happening.
she wants to go. It's good. We get the little energy of the pet, So no, so we let that emotion, whatever comes up, go through our body. We help it to leave by acknowledging, by sitting with it, by feeling it, by not numbing it or running away from it. Okay, that way you can move through things quicker, but it takes a little bit. The first time this is why it's always good to have a group or a mentor or a teacher or somebody that you trust and believe in, because the first time you go through it, it can feel scary. Okay, it's just what it is. You feel like, oh my God, am I ever going to get out of this? This is the opposite of what I wanted. This is crazy. What is happening? Like, I used to think I was losing my mind, because you are having all these weird feelings and emotions, and we are used to numbing and running from everything. So this manifestation is taking radical responsibility for everything that is in your life. And if there's something showing up in your life that you are not happy with, that means there's some clearing that you need to do with inside yourself. Okay, it's like in the Hermetic beliefs, as above, so below, as within, so without, right? And so everything that's happening in our world is a clue for us to what's going on the inside. And then at that point we can clear it. It's a gift. So I always say into the community, when shit comes up, be happy, be grateful, because it's coming up. You are now at a place. If things come up, it's because you're ready to look at it and heal it. You're strong enough. Your foundation is there for you to actually deal with it, right? And so when the wobble comes inside the communities, people are like, oh, I'm in a wobble. And yes, it's hard, and we all witness each other, and we rally around each other. But as you've gone through it a few times, now you're like, oh, I'm coming through on the other side. I wonder what it is.
And it'll surprise you. It'll surprise you every time. It's not even what you think it was.
It's not what you think. And I also find that deeper you go into this journey, you kind of stop focusing on those more, what can you say, deliberate manifestations, because
Right? No. Yeah.
Because you can do that and you can get whatever it is you want, but it's often, and I teach my students not to say this or something better, because you have to learn how to become deliberate, so you know how to focus in and get exactly what it is that you want. But because life is so good when you become in alignment, and the way that the universe shows up for you, you kind of start, a lot of us inside here, right? We just let life unfold in a weird way. And then what becomes fun is that you think about a person and then that happens. So you think about, like, I've had many manifestations come to my door, right? Where people say you can't just sit on the sofa and eat bonbons. You actually can with some of the stuff.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
so what would you say to anybody who is, so we're getting up to Christmas right now, and this is the end of the year, and we'd see in November and December, people start struggling a little bit more. We've been in the pandemic. What good advice would you give to anybody that is thinking about this kind of work?
Don't put a time limit on it. Don't say, I'm going to do this for a week and expect that, because you're totally fighting against yourself. It's not going to, it'll work eventually, but it's a hard way to do it. Believe in yourself. Do the magic morning. If all you can do is the magic morning and do it, then once you start seeing what happens from that, you'll be 100% a believer, and then you'll start to get the bigger picture. But you can't give up, and you can't put a time limit on it. You're totally fighting yourself if you do, and you're making everything longer for yourself. You just are.
Yes. So basically, this is really important. What Kimberly is saying is that, once you get stronger, if you are in a position right now where life just feels overwhelming, the first thing you need to do is work on, I mean, you can do whatever you want, but my suggestion is, and we have a lot of proof inside our community, and everybody in there are welcome to come in and check out the wins. You do have to, what is it called, ask to join and answer a few questions, because we do really take the energy of the community serious, and we want people in there who want to shift, want to change, and want to, what can you say, up level or recalibrate into a better, what we say, a higher level of consciousness. And it's okay to come in there when you're not strong, but it's not a place to come in and keep on playing in your victim consciousness. We will help you move out of that. That's what the Quantum Leap bootcamp does. It helps you move out of that consciousness so you can actually really start the work. So if you are, I have a lot of people reaching out like, help, I can't take this anymore. Life is going crazy. This is the first place, in my opinion, to start. Kimberly has said the same thing. And not only that, even if just being in the community, would you say that, Kimberly, is a huge plus for people, right?
I wouldn't suggest not being in the community ever. You need to be in the community. There's something about it. It just, you need it. You need it.
And
Yep.
then, so what in the inside? Why did you sign up for the academy originally?
Because my manifestations were coming so fast, I needed to figure out, as strangely as this is, how to slow it down. Because honestly, I mean, $100,000 total in 6 months is a lot for somebody that had nothing. So I needed to learn how to control what I was doing, because it was just happening way too fast. Yep.
Okay.
So
So
I'm
yeah,
like,
so
I
everybody
yeah.
comes in for different reasons, but normally is we work on. So also what happens many times is when things come on so quickly, and this is why sometimes you see like lottery winners, they lose all their money, or people get a windfall of money and then they kind of lose it again, right? That was my story. That was my gateway into this work, right? I was really good at manifesting huge amount of money, and then I would lose everything. I mean, and it took a special skill to lose that much money. And so and this is what got me. I dabbled in it. I've kind of seen it. Like I said, it is in a lot of different uh, religions and philosophies, and as many people know, is I work with a lot of shamans. They actually use these principles as well. And so I knew it. I just never took it serious, I guess, because I was a hustler, right? It was just work hard, grind. That's all that you need.
Yeah.
Until I really found this, and it shifted so many things in my life that I was like, I have to share this work. And I was actually just doing energy work before, but I was like, okay, I need to do this on a bigger level so I can reach more people. And so um, so we all come, most of the people who come into this community, their gateway into their own spirituality, because this is what really manifestation is stepping into really getting to understand who you are and how you operate. It's not so much, it's not a religion, again, it's not a cult. it's about aligning to yourself, and like Neville says, getting into your God state. Okay, he calls it a God state. He talks a lot about scripture, but please don't make this let that scare you off, because it really has nothing to do with the Bible as such. He talks about the Bible more as a book of psychology. Okay, and so inside the inner circle we go deeper into his the way that he views the philosophies and stuff, and you can go on YouTube and watch more about Neville. um, but the thing is that it's being in the communities, I find it's super important, especially in the start, if you're kind of in the lower vibrational, what you can say, spectra, and you need some support. Then it's great. And the quantum leap codes are so easy to do. My kids do them. Now they're 8 and 12. I actually remember how old my kids are. They do them. Oh, this is the other thing as well, Kimberly. We talked about this. You have family, you have kids. You doing the work has affected your
It's
immediate
contagious.
family.
It's contagious. You can't help it. If you're in alignment, anybody you're around, they're just attracted to your energy, and that carries off in them. They may not understand. They know something's going on, but it really is a domino effect in a good way, because it's not just when you're in alignment for yourself, you're really in alignment for anybody you come in contact with.
Yeah.
And that right there is the best feeling ever. The best feeling ever.
Yes, when you can be there for other people. And that's as well, if you don't have family, you have the community. You get into your adopted family, right? And the other thing is, what was it I wanted to just ask you now, Kimberly? It was to do with your family. But yeah, it's beautiful to see, and people are going to start coming up to you and ask, oh, this is what I wanted to ask you. But people are going to start coming up to you and be like, what are you doing? Like, you know, and start getting curious and start asking
Yeah.
into it, right? And this is when I say, don't share with people until people come to you. It's always
Yeah.
the best way
They're
of
not
doing it.
ready for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll let you know when they're ready, and you'll know how much ready they are. You can't just sit down and explain everything to them and they're not going to understand it.
Mm.
So you give them the bits that you can feel that they're ready for, and it's nice to see them actually doing it and what is happening, even though they don't really understand yet. But it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing to share with people and see what they're doing. And then they'll come back and say, hey, this, of course, you already know. And then they're like, well, what else do you got? It's like, it's a big thing now. Give me something else. It's like, okay, we're good. We're going to roll, but it's just so funny because it really is contagious. It's contagious.
And I remember when we started the beta and I was testing out the tools on you guys, and everybody was like, yeah, give me something more. And I was like, no,
Right.
you have to keep on the
Not
same
yet.
tools. And I was
Yep.
forcing you guys, and you were like, I want to
Yep.
do this, I want to do that. And I'm like, no, we're going to continue
Yep.
doing that. And then you started getting into the layers of really, because what we many times we do is like we get a tool, we use it, let's say for a month, and then we're like, oh yeah, okay, I feel good, and that's it. You have to continue. It's cyclical in a weird way. It kind of comes around on itself, and then it goes a little bit deeper, and then it goes a little bit deeper. And then you start unlocking these simple little tools, start opening up for you. Like for you as well, like, don't you find that the way you see the world, Kimberly, now is like with such different eyes after doing this work? Oh, are you have muted themselves? Oh, we see. I think I lost Kimberly. Let's see if she comes back on. Okay, so anyway, what happens? So if anybody has, okay, she will be coming back on. I think we just lost her. If anybody has any questions for Kimberly and I, please let us know. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put up on the screen here. These are the Quantum Leap boot camps that we are talking about. If you are interested, you go to the Facebook groups, facebook.com/groups/abundance and alignment. Let me just get it back on. And then inside there, you will be tagged to a welcome message. And then we will take you straight to the Quantum Leap Bootcamp. It's free. You can get started straight away within the next 5 minutes. Oh, let me see what she says here. And then, and you can be on the journey with the rest of us. And we have tons of moderators in there and admins that's there to support you. The community is amazing. So, and this is a good time to start. Just before the holidays, you're going to go into 2022 flying, right? So this is always a good time. Instead of waiting till January and then you do your, what are they called, New Year's resolutions, and then by February, right, we end up, what do you call it, not doing them or losing the energy behind them, and then we get upset with ourselves, and then we start going down the road of shame and guilt, which is the worst thing that you can do. With manifestation work, like I said with Kimberly, it's a lifestyle, and you now my lights are gonna go off soon. Okay, let's see if she's coming back on. And so it's a lifestyle, and that means that you are going to start feeling better, and you're going to start any changes, any habits, or what you limiting belief systems that you want to get rid of is much easier. So when you come to the new year and you want to do a new year resolutions, if you've worked on your alignment, you are going to be able to actually change that pattern much easier. So sorry, I'm a little bit distracted here because I'm talking to Kimberly. I think she's trying to get back on. Okay, let me see. Give me a second, guys. There we go. Okay. Yeah. So let's see. I can't see comments, nothing. This is fun. There we go. No. Oh, here we go. The chat. Yeah, I don't see anything. Okay, my love. So let's see with Kimberly. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this interview with Kimberly, and I got to kind of explain to you guys let me try another one. Okay, so let me see if I can get back to my trail of thought. But you know, this is a great problem to have, as Kimberly was talking about. She joined the academy to actually slow down or learn how to better control. So this happens when you get into alignment, right? Things can come at you, and even though things are great, oh, there we go, she's back on. Sorry guys, I got a shock. Let's see. Things come so fast and furious, and so this is why the having the tools to actually learn how to hold all this new stuff that comes in is I mean, you can choose not to, but many times what will happen is that we will then automatically somehow, some way get rid of it. If that's a person that we want to be with, we manifest that person, we'll find a way to actually push that person away again. Okay. And yes, you can manifest whoever or whatever it is that you want. I'm not sure why she's not coming on. Kimberly, are you there? And I don't care if it's been, let's say it's a person you have had no contact with. It's a person, it's anything. We can call into our lives whatever it is that we want without having to settle for anything. It can be exactly as you want it, but you would have to go in and really work on your concept of self and shift some beliefs. If you have been, for example, in a relationship with somebody and you have this on and off again relationship, that means there's something in your belief system that is perpetuating that that kind of pattern, right? And so you need to go in and shift that. And the way to shift it is not via affirming. I mean, you can do it. It's hard work going that route. It's by changing your concept of self, and that can be done in different formats, right? And the first place to start to help you stabilize that is the alignment. And also what happens is when you start doing the alignment work in that we have in the free quantum leap codes, which are these ones, let me put them up again, is that what I say in that series is that you do not need to really know what you are clearing in the start. All that surface stuff, all that noise needs to just you just need to clear it. What happens many times is the noise is distractions. It's distractions of you actually going deep and actually getting into doing the real work. And so what we do many times is that we stay on the surface and we want to know what this is, and we're going to heal this, and we're healing that, and we're healing this, when all of that can just be pushed away. And many times when people start the Quantum Leap Code Bootcamp, within days, you start feeling better. This is not something that takes months. So in the start, depending on where you are arriving from, if you're arriving where you're completely broken or you feel broken, we never really broken, right? But where you don't feel good, it can take a little bit for you to be consistent with it. And that's why it's good being in a container like the inner circle that we have. And you can always ask us about that inside the community. We don't have any web pages for it. We go by invites. And so being in those communities is super helpful because it helps you shift much quicker. Yeah, Kimberly, I can see, but I don't see you on there. Can you try to call again if you can hear me? I don't see your face. Okay, so we're just gonna give it one last go. Now my lights are gonna go out in a second. There we go. Just calling. Hey, Kimberly. Yeah, I can't see you or hear you. Oh, there we. Hello? Okay, so we have technical difficulties, but you got to see Kimberly, you got to hear her story. Kimberly is also has now become a moderator inside Abundance and Alignment. So if you wanted to ask her any questions today, and obviously you can't because we can't get her back on, we are having some technical difficulties, then please get into our community. I'm just going to say, so you can get into the community. You'll find her in there as a moderator. All the moderators in there has gone through the Quantum Leap Bootcamp. Most of them has been in the inner circle, and they have been through my signature program, which is the I Am Academy. If you are interested in that, is where we dive deep. It's a 3-month container with me where we meet every week. We do some alignment sessions once a month, and there is a self-paced program that you go through in your own time, and you just show up for the coaching. And we work on the first month is the conscious mind. Then on the second month, we work on the subconscious mind. We work on shifting all those limiting beliefs. There my lights went. I've been talking too long. And then the last month, which I call it the PhD, month of manifestation, is where we go in and we really become conscious about. So in the first 2 months, if you haven't manifested what it is that you came into the program for, and normally we start with manifesting back the investment of the program. And if you haven't manifested, and if you don't want to focus on that, you want to focus on something else, then and you haven't manifested that yet, is where we go in on the 3rd month. And I hope you, and by the 3rd month, normally we have figured out what manifestation type that you are, how you manifest best, what works best for you, where you feel more comfortable. And then we go in and then hone in on that and then help you tune in. So once you leave me after the 3 months, you know what you're doing, you have a clear path, and you trust what is coming through you, right? You trust that co-creation that happens with the universe. So with that said and done, if you're interested in that and reaching out to me anywhere you see this, if you just put in the what's it called, in the comment box, let me see here, I have it down here. Yeah, just put this inside the comment box here. Comment below I am. That way I know to reach out to you. Okay, or you can send me a Facebook Messenger message, or you can DM me inside what's it called, Instagram, and we will have a conversation, and then we will get on a phone call, which is not a sales call. Okay, it's a phone call to find out if the program works for you, or if I think that you should be in some other container first. And then I will make sure I'm not just going to leave you hanging. I'm going to make sure you know what your next steps are if you're not invited into the program. But with that said and done, I hope you enjoyed today. I really loved, and thank you, Kimberly, even though we can't get you back on. Thank you for being on here. Thank you for sharing your story. And there's tons more of these stories inside our community. So please, 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 if you have tried manifestation before, if you have had issues with it, whatever it is, if you are a dabbler, if you are a seasoned pro, if you're having inconsistent result, whatever it is, go inside our community, start looking at the wins, reach out to one of the moderators or me if I'm in there, and let's chat, okay? And so we can get you on the right trajectory, okay, for the end of this year, so you can start off 2022 with a bang. So with that said and done, thank you for today, and take care.